Settle in and grab a book, a comfy chair, your favorite nook with Kate and Court. Yeah, it's the Cozy Corner.
Hi, I'm Kate.
And I'm Court. Welcome to Kate and Court's Cozy Corner Romance Readers.
This is a podcast for lovers of romance and romantasy novels who want to go on a deep dive into their favorite genre. Honest discussions and salacious details, giving romance books the respect they deserve. We are two friends, actors, moms, and romance readers who like a bit of spice and everything nice in their books.
As we like to say, you don't need spice for a book to be good. Well, you don't need running shoes to run, but they sure do help.
Hi,
Hi.
and Happy New Year!
Yeah. Happy
We
New
are
Year.
recording this in 2025, which means basically we're time traveling right now. Um,
Yes. Pretending we're so excited that it's 2026 right now. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I'm like, excited that I'm like, whole new year. I'm kind of more like, well, technically, it's a whole new year when this is dropping. Let's just get started. Oh,
You made me think. I think the reason why New Year's is such a big celebration, and we say the Happy New Year's, is basically trying to cover up the sadness that time is continuing to go on. We just
no, that's
pretend
just our age
we're
showing.
all but I think that's everyone. We're all just in on it of this is actually sucks. I can't believe it's 2026 and but Happy New Year. Or if it's been like a rough year, you're just like, now it's better because we're in a new one. Like it's all just gaslighting, an agreed upon gaslighting across the world of like, yay.
And then you just reach a point where you're like, I'm not falling for it, but Happy New Year.
I mean, January is not the ideal month in any part of the world, pretty much. It's not like you're like, yay, and the weather, and no, it's the shithole of the year. And we're like, okay, woo, we got this.
But, okay, so that's where I'm excited about the book we're talking about today, because January is a great reading month.
It is.
It is
It's
always a
big
reading month for me. I love it. It's usually when I will dive into like something thick and heavy or like a classic or like the latest like heavy Pulitzer winner or something like that, just because I'm like, I got time. On the flip side, the book we're talking about today, I was reading it and I was like, we're dropping this like as a January book, like as a New Year book. And I was like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
excited.
nice, sweet one. Yeah.
It's really nice. And I was saying to Court, she was like, wait, save that for the report. I was like, sure. I said to her, I was like, I'm just so glad it was really good. Like I didn't know what to expect. I haven't read any of the other books in this series.
Yes.
I didn't even really know that it was a series. And I started it and I was kind of like, And then
we should say what it is. We should say what it is.
Oh, this is fun. Oh, yeah. So, okay. What book
so
are we
the
talking
book
about today?
we're talking about today is In Your Dreams, Sarah Adams. It's on my phone because it's an ARC, which is an advanced reader's copy. My brain just stopped working. It's an ARC, an advanced reader's copy, because this book comes out December 30th. So it's out now as you're listening to this, but because I'm a bookseller, I have the advanced reader's copy, and Kate did too. So yes, it's Sarah Adams. It's book 5, I want to say, of the When in Rome series, which Kate has not read, and I really didn't want to pre-warn her because I wanted to get her perspective if you read this as a standalone versus someone like me who's been along for the ride of the series. So you're gonna get the twofold to it right now of the if you've just popped in and then the backstory that I have while reading this book. So you get to experience it both ways.
So for me as a standalone, I loved it. And like I'm like, this is it works. It totally works, which is what I'm finding with a lot of the romance books that are part of a series is they are so focused on one couple and their journey. And you can always, I can always tell when I'm going along. I'm like, oh, they clearly talked about that. Like that couple clearly has a book before this.
Yes.
And it's kind of obvious, but you really, and I love that you don't have to have read all of them, that you can just like grab one here or grab one there. It's kind of like the joy of like when you have a great sitcom that you're watching. When you're great TV series, it's a drama where you really need to see every episode in order so you know what's going on. You got to keep up with it. It can almost feel a little bit like a job sometimes. With these, it's like you can hop in anywhere and you can hop out. And then you could
Yeah.
hop back on somewhere else if you wanted to, if you were just looking for something, I'm like, that's nice. That's low
Yeah.
pressure. That's low lift. And that's where I was like, this is not a heavy, deep January read, but this is a really fun, light, low lift. You know, we just went through the holidays, which is a blast, but also a total shit show and like stress set central.
Oh my god, me too. Oh my god. Is it that or is it the Baileys? I don't know. One of them's causing this. We'll
Yeah,
see.
it's definitely like the stress mixed with the extra sugar and the extra booze, just like
Coming out. Yes. 100%.
and so, maybe what you need for January or just to get you like reading again this year or whatever is just like a nice, light, like
Yeah.
slow, simple entry. And you can be like, and check. I read a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because it won't take you very long to read this book either.
It's a classic romance. Like it is
It is.
literally a classic romance book. It's a sweet story. You get a little
Mhm.
steam at the end. It's a slow burn.
Yeah.
Friends into lovers kind of trope.
Yeah.
It's brother's best friend into lovers trope.
Yeah.
And just a cinnamon bun, like sweetheart of lead guy. Like it's
Yeah.
just and for me, like this story's been building over 4 books. Like there's been just a little pull between James and Madison, who's the 2 main characters,
Okay.
over the series. And at one
Okay.
point, so they all live in Rome, Kentucky, and each book follows one of these 4 siblings, which is the oldest brother Noah, the sister Emily, the sister Madison, and the younger sister Annie, and all of them. So there must be 4 books. That would make sense,
Yeah.
unless there's one more sibling that I'm forgetting. But I think that's all of them.
No, that's it. Yeah. And then now
Okay.
Madison is book 5. And then that's it. At the end of this book, the author did sort of say, I read the thing at the end. She was like, and that is it for this. Like,
Yes, but this might
little.
be book 4. I might, unless I'm forgetting someone.
Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe
Whichever.
it's
It's
only
all
4.
the siblings,
Yeah.
and they basically it's the story of each of them falling in love. So this one is about Madison, who's kind of the middle sister. She's a few years ago, like a year ago, I guess, in this book, in a previous book, she quit her job as an elementary school teacher and decided to move to New York to pursue her love of culinary school. She's decided on a whim to her siblings that she's just going to New York and going to do this. They
Yeah.
lost their parents in an accident young, so they've all had each other, and the town has kind of always come around them and helped raise them. And so her going off is like this big deal. And there's a scene that leads to this book in an earlier book that when she announces she's moving to New York, James has just walked into the kitchen with like a thing of fruits and vegetables because he's a farmer, and it just like crashes to the floor. And there's like in her middle of her announcement, and he's like, sorry, and then just like picks it up and wanders off. And that's like
Yeah.
kind of the taste that you get about them, but it's not like a lot of detail. It's just like little hints like that. And then this one, she's finished culinary school, almost failed, had to do like extra credit stuff to pass, had a horrible experience in her internship with a chef that just treated her horribly, said she was too emotional, not cut out for this world. And she's always kind of been the screw up in her family too. So
Mhm.
she's really embarrassed to come back and tell them that like New York had gone so horribly. But
Mhm.
James, who's always wanted to come back and has loved her for the last decade, um, basically offers her a chance to come open a restaurant on his farm. His family farm's been failing. His brother's been telling him, you need to modernize. You should open a restaurant. You should commit to these other like companies that want to help sell your produce. And he's like, no, no, no. And then she calls him crying about failing and needing a job. And he's like, I'm opening a restaurant. You should come lead it at my farm, basically, to get her to come back to Rome, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then it's about the 2 of them getting acquainted with each other, trying to ignore feelings about each other, becoming best friends while she's trying to open up the restaurant. The whole time it's like 30 days until I fail, 20 days
Yes.
until I fail. Like it's her believing she's going to fail at this and him teaching her and showing her that she's not and believing in her and helping her to find her confidence and discover her strength. So it's a really sweet romance story. It's in that
Mhm.
typical signature Sarah Adams way that you just fall for these characters and you love them and the whole town is there. It borders on a Hallmark type, but it's more, I would say it's not Hallmark. It is like Gilmore Girls. Like it's that, like you said, it's
Yeah.
that sweet rom-com, but it's not too cheese. Like it's always
No, that's
done in a great
funny.
way that
To
you enjoy.
and it really yeah, it's a little more Gilmore Girlsy. And also it's because it has that humor in it,
It's
and
such funny
because
humor.
Madison really takes the piss out of herself constantly and everyone
Yes.
around her. And also, like, she is a total type B type of person. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, she's not a type A. And so you're not dealing with that kind of like, I don't know, sometimes it can just be cloying when everybody's perfect and everything is like sweet. And, I'm like, you got to have spice and you got to have some humor in there. Like, or else
Yeah.
it's, and I'm like, ugh, who cares? Um,
Yeah.
and I really, really liked just how Madison was just like, she was like, and I'm going to fail again, and I'm going to fail again, and I'm going to try over here, and I'm going to, and I thought it was so interesting too. It really strung me along through the whole book, which was really great. The whole like 30 days till I fail, 28 days till I fail, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this girl going to realize that she is not the big failure that she thinks she is,
Yeah, but it is true. I mean, if I was doing that, we both have this personality. Like, if we took on something like this in a restaurant, we would do it and still be shitting ourselves the moment for like, what am I
Yes.
doing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Why am I? What is happening? Like,
Yes.
and
also assuming that everyone else around you is like perfect and they've got it all figured out, because people are really making it look that way.
Even when I show up on set and it's been and going in the role, every time I'm like, are they sure they cast me? Like, are they gonna like what? Like, these people apparently in my head, everyone else there knows exactly what they're doing, and I'm the one that's like, oh, I think they made a mistake. Like, I don't think they realize that I'm about to show them, but they, it's just, but I mean that across everything, even as starting this podcast, like, it still is like, sure, we're just gonna do this, and we just dive in like her, but there's still that part in your head that's like, then we'll see what happens. Again, we might crash and burn, or we might not. She still lives in we're probably gonna crash and burn, but.
Yeah.
Then when she gets there and sees it through, and it makes sense because she hasn't had someone really having her back. She's kind of become the running joke of like, whatever you touch, you set on fire. It's like in my family, I was the too loud one forever in my life.
Right.
And then when I'm on stage in a theater, I'm like, look how loud I am now. Like, this worked out for me.
Now I found my spot. This is where everyone's too loud. So we're all
too loud.
Yeah. You just have to find your place where you're not too much. And then, I don't know. And there was something about her self-deprecating humor and her way that really just resonated with me. Like I said, we're both like this type of person, but reading it and I was like, oh, this is just so refreshing. Cause she also wasn't like, tearing herself down to a point where it was like, oh, come on. Like you're just seeking, you're fishing for compliments kind of thing. Like, no, not at all. She was just kind of like, like, oh, what? I can't get this together. And I found it very interesting. Because, I love to cook and this gal loves to cook.
I thought of you. I thought of you with this a lot.
And sometimes my husband will be like, why didn't you like go into like being a chef or like working in a restaurant, like as a cook and everything? And I was like, because I love it. I don't want it to get ruined.
Like chefs, honestly, and I listen, chefs are super talented and you're even a fantastic cook. And you have to love cooking, I think, to be a chef. Because to me, there is nothing almost less appealing and career-wise for me than being a chef. Like, as I've worked in restaurants so long as servers and bartenders, like all through my 20s, all through like acting school, all the typical actor/server forever. And it just seems miserable to me. Like, even when it's going well, and then like there's nothing in it that I'm like, I don't get it. Like, it is not. Even in books, I tend to get turned off when it's like a chef story. Like, it just doesn't connect with me the same way. I don't find cooking relaxing. I don't like. I do it. I feel satisfied when I like manage to put things together properly. I guess like I get that like accomplishment feeling. But it is not like for you. Like, you love cooking. It relaxes you. It's joyful to you. You plan it. Yeah. Like, I am the like, ugh, I have to cook this. Like, fine, let me watch something or listen to something. Like, well, I get through this. It's not the same. And but this book and even the one that we read, It'll Be Different This Time by Joss, which had a chef. They both still managed to pull me, and that's like a good sign of a book because it is something that can turn me off. And this one didn't. I think because of how much she wanted it and what her love was for that, and like her restaurant design of it, and like when her restaurant was falling apart at the end in the opening, I was having my own PTSD. I'm like, oh my god, and there's like the staff trying to keep it going and the like mistakes that I'm like, I've just been in a restaurant too long in my life, like I can't handle this.
Well, it's very different being a server from like being in the kitchen. But like for me, the only reason I was like, the kitchen is super stressful, and the whole reason it's also very much so, like, chef's world is very much the old boys club,
Yes.
and the hours are, like, not great if you wanna have a family and all of that stuff, and, uh, so that was it for me, and also I was like, "Well, I've gone after the acting thing, all these other things," and I was like, "There's gotta be something that I just love to do that's mine, that somebody's not telling
Yeah.
me, like, how I'm fucking it up," you know?
Yeah.
Like, how bad I
You're
am
not
at it.
being
I'm like, I
judged on it.
really
Yeah.
need something in my life to not be open to, like, judgment by others,
Yes,
that
I
it
get
can
that.
just be my thing that I enjoy and I do. Um, but that being said, and I thought it was really interesting in the book as it goes along too, in the end, um, when Zora says to her, like, "Oh, that guy who you internship with, he's a jerk. Everybody knows he's an ass." Because even when she was saying, like, how
Yeah.
she was being treated by him and the thing, I was like, he's just one of those toxic jerks who needs to be,
Yeah.
like, out of the business,
Yeah.
like, who's, like, carrying on, like, an old way of things that really doesn't need to be there anymore to keep it going this way. I swear to God that men made it more like a military precision thing in the kitchen so that, like, they could be the chefs who do it as a job and women would be stuck at home being the cook who, like, don't get paid for it.
Yeah.
Just, like, to, like, create all these barriers so, like, women can't be there because we run things differently typically than men do, when we're doing it. It
Yeah.
doesn't tend to be as like um fucking patriarchal,
Yeah. But it's interesting. It's interesting the whole world of it and how it evolved to be, even when you're explaining it, like the military precision, like to a degree, I understand because certain things have to be followed, certain steps, and you need to get people better.
Yeah.
But the harshness of it that I've seen, even in kitchens on like,
Mhm.
restaurants that aren't changing the world by any means,
Yeah.
it is. It's like people craving this respect or title. And listen, there are chefs that absolutely deserve respect and are amazing at what they
Uh-huh.
do and are artists in their field, but that doesn't mean you get to treat other humans shitty. And that's
You
the
don't
part I
need
think no
to.
matter what your job is, there's
Doesn't
no
matter what
job
you're
out there that
doing.
I think you get to treat people like that regardless. Like it's
Yeah.
just not nice and no one feels good about it. And I don't think
No.
it makes you a better chef in the long run because you had an asshole. It just makes you have an
No.
asshole as your like leader. Like there's nothing
Yeah.
that comes out of it. It's been
No, except
proven.
for
Like they've
trauma.
shown that in any kind of business, any kind of leadership management that always kindness and leading with like coaching and feedback will get you more productive employees than yelling and
Yeah.
blaming ever will.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah. It's not necessary, and so when she's feeling and also the other thing I thought as well, I was like, well, if he's riding you so hard, it's probably because he sees some talent there, and all of these things, but
yeah.
she doesn't know that. She doesn't have anybody telling her that. She doesn't because and then when you go back to the time with her and you realize like, oh, well, because she's kind of always that's the role that her hometown has cast her in
Yes.
that they've stuck her in, right? And I really like when
Yeah.
James stands up for her at a certain point because it's like, enough. It's not funny, like how much you're tearing her
Yeah.
down or expecting that she's gonna fail and everything. And they're like, oh, we're just making a joke. And he's like, no, no, now you're just being mean. And she's trying something that is outside her comfort zone, that is a challenge, and you're gonna support her and you're gonna show up for her and you're gonna tell her she can do it. Because if nobody ever tells you
Yeah.
you can. If everyone is always kind of like joking about how you failed because you've gone after a lot of different things and maybe they haven't worked, then of course you're going to start to believe that. Now, it's not true, but you got to have somebody giving you a boost
Yeah.
somewhere along the line, in order to keep putting yourself
Especially when
out
it's
there
like
and succeed.
but it's also because it's like her chosen family. Like the town is her chosen
Yeah.
family. So like and
Yeah.
that it's a dynamic in family. Like there is
Mhm.
always that point that most people hit as adults. They have to be like, okay, you have to stop calling me the whatever or this nickname
Yes.
or this thing you had about me as a kid. Like that's not
Yes.
who I am anymore. And it's
Yeah.
hard to shake that identity. Like especially if you don't have the own faith in yourself. Like you need them
Mhm.
to realize it and say it. And it happens. It happens to everyone. But
It happens
it
to everyone. And that's what's
they
cool
don't
about this book.
realize how hard you're taking it until
No,
it's
they don't.
past the point. And
Yeah.
yeah, this one, even with this, I've been waiting for this story. Like I thought this would have been the last book that came out, but then that was Emily's story with Jack. And now I see why, because it needed to have everyone else have their lives fully together for her
Right.
unraveling to finally be able to come to the surface and see what it's doing to her and like the perfection all around her to really build her to this point. Because this
Yeah.
slow burn of her and Jack have been happening. I mean, her and um
James.
James. They're very close. Those names are very
Oh, yes.
close.
Very close.
Her and James has been, like I said, slow building. Like the first book was When in
Mhm.
Rome, and that was Noah and Amelia, the singer,
Yeah.
famous singer. And then Practice Makes Perfect, which was Annie's story, which is my favorite one, Annie and Will.
Okay.
It's just like the cutest. It's my favorite Sarah Adams book. It's one that I would recommend. Anyone across the board is just like a go read is Practice Makes Perfect. And then I can't remember the name of the one that came out last year, but that's the Emily and Jack story, and then this one. So
Okay.
it's the full. But she needed that. She needed all her siblings to get like their ducks in a row so that she could have this chance. And by the way, Mabel, the neighbor, her
Yeah.
and Harriet, like their war
It's
between
like an
all the
ongoing
books.
thing.
And it's so funny. It's so great. Like it builds
Love
every
that.
book. I love that finally Mabel got hit over the head with it in this one. Like, okay, now you and Harriet are gonna be friends, or you're gonna do this
Yeah.
and that. Because their arguing in the earlier books is just so fantastic. I love it so much. It
Yeah.
adds to it. You didn't have that. I genuinely thought this was gonna be one that you were gonna be like, it didn't work for me. And I didn't know that if this would work as a standalone, because I thought 4 books in,
No,
there's
it
so
does.
many characters that have been built up that you would need to know.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it does. I'm super
It
happy to
totally
hear it
does,
works.
because it's doing a few fun different things. Her whole like kind of persona is different than a lot of, not totally different. Like it's definitely like one of the tropes, like she's kind of flighty and all over the place. But then like she genuinely loves sex. She's not like, like kind of like innocent in that way or anything at all. It's open about it and the whole thing. And when she talked about like how she's doing this year of celibacy, I was like, oh God. And so that was like
Yes,
very
that's right.
sassy and fun. And also like she can hold her liquor, like she likes to party and go out and
Yeah.
do things. I was like, this is really fun too. Because it was recently in something where I was complaining. I was like, come on, not every single FMC in a romance book is like one glass of wine and they're toasted for 3 days. Enough. I was like, can we please have like just
We need an alcoholic FMC, please. We
for
need
Christ's
someone
sake.
that's drinking a little more.
I love to drink tea too, and also like I am a dry January gal as well, but like at the same time, like, I like to party. So I'm like, can we please have somebody
Yes.
who like, so I found her refreshing. I found her really fun. And then also like I do, because I love cooking it. And so that's actually always an in for me.
Yeah.
When there's a chef storyline, I'm like, oh, I'm in. I
Yeah,
love this.
that's what I thought you
Let's
would like
talk
about
being
this.
in the kitchen and a recipe and chopping and all those things. And I also resonated with like, going after doing something you love and training for it and being really broken down in the training process to the point where you maybe don't trust your own talents and abilities, and then having to go find your way like back to what makes you special in that art form or career path of your choice. And then like finding your voice on the other side of that, like really building yourself back up, and I thought that was really cool too.
Yes.
I really liked that. James is adorable. Um, he's very, very sweet. I mean, he is fantasy level, like sweet. Like he doesn't really have now he has the farm going on and that's stressing him out, but like he is definitely not sleeping at all because he's there for her around the clock. And apparently he's at the farm around the clock. And I was like, well, no real man can live up to this expectation.
No, but I love when she's like, take me home, cowboy, or something. He's like, I'm a farmer, right?
He goes, cowboy. And she's like, cowboy.
It's like, shh. We're going with keep the boots on. You're cowboy.
And like all that quirky stuff I so identified with. I was like, oh my gosh, I love her.
Yeah. Yes. I will say the one thing about him is that he still had his occasional smoking habit, which is accurate, but really did turn me off. It was the one thing that I'm like, yeah, I would not be on boord anymore. Like years ago.
Loved it. I loved it. I loved his occasional smoking habit. I was like, ooh, look at you.
I thought for some reason I did think that would work for you. I also had that vibe. I'm like, this is gonna work for Gay. Yeah. Yes. No, I'm like I'm Jane and he'd arrive. Like, why are you smoking?
I'm more like, oh, good for you. An analog cigarette. Very important. Don't you not on one of those steamers. You're gonna smoke, fucking smoke. Vaping. Christ.
It's true.
But I love that. And I loved, and there were like little surprises. I loved when he joined her in New York.
Oh, yes, me too. I loved that he brought her there and, like, really wanted to make sure she properly experienced it and, like,
Yeah.
realized that she could still do well in New York and love New York. It was just that she had a bad experience at school and had a
Yeah.
bad experience with that chef, but that doesn't mean New York was a bad experience. Like, she
Yeah.
was so in the dark, she didn't realize what she did have. Like, she didn't even realize that she had made a friend or, like, that
Yeah.
she had other opportunities there. So, it was
Yeah.
so again, he was, like, ideal. He just did everything. I mean, when you've loved someone for 10 years and you've been best friends and part
Yeah.
of their family, you know them so well and you know how to get them to come out of their shell. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it all felt believable and I loved it. Loved
Yeah.
getting
And
another
I
little
loved their like meeting up at the small town bar, you know?
yes, I know.
God, I love those places. And then too, and she's like, and she had her truck, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love her like old school
Yes.
truck that she's got. Oh, I died laughing when the whole little bit with when there was the wasp in the truck, and she hopped out and didn't
Oh,
put it in
yes.
park. And was like the way that all played out in my brain, I was like, oh, this is fun. Like it was
Yes.
such a fun read. And then when it got sexy, I was like, this is great. I also kind of knew I was like, because she had the author just wrote the warning thing in the beginning, like
Mhm.
trigger warning, whatever, which there are no major triggers in this, but
No, she's a very light
yeah,
spice author in
yeah.
general. Yes.
But she was like, in chapters like 29 and 35, there will be some descriptive. And I was like, okay, all right, that's good. Now I know that
Yep.
I'm only getting 2 hits here and it's not gonna be like super
Yeah. It's a
dating.
light it's more
And I was
than
like,
she
that's
does
okay.
before. Yeah.
That's
It's
okay. I can handle that. Now I was coming off of heated rivalry, so I think I would still just
exactly
ride it
I was
that way.
gonna
So I
say.
was like, I'm fully satiated. I'm still satiated. And
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
like good to go, but just still like enjoying that mental turn on. So
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'll be okay with this one. But it did make me a little nervous as I started it. And then it got going and I was like, okay, all right. These are
Mhm.
fun characters. This is like a fun story. And it wasn't overly, I don't know, somehow it wasn't overly schmaltzy in other areas. It was just like the right amount of like sass and fun and lightness that I was like, this is a good time. I was like, oh, I would
Yeah.
recommend this author to people because the way that she walked this line and didn't
Yes.
get boring was very cool.
And that's what all of her
I
book I've read all of her books. She has quite a few, and they're always really sweet, and they're always like, a couple are actually closed door, like, she doesn't I feel like Annie
Mhm,
and Wilbur closed door,
mhm.
which I was, like, a little sad about, but it worked because
Yeah.
Annie's so sweet in that whole story, it makes sense that theirs would be closed door. And this
Right.
one, I felt like this was her actually pushing it a little bit, like, she even the descriptors
Oh,
in this weren't they're very light compared to a lot of the spice and romance we read, but for her,
yeah.
it was her pushing it a little bit. And it was done really well, and I worked for these characters, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. But yeah, it's definitely so with that, Kate,
For it.
what where are you gonna put this on your spice meter?
I'm gonna put this at a 2.5. Maybe 2,
Yeah,
I think.
I think we
Yeah.
have to give the point 0.5 because it does get descriptive
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think we'll
Yeah.
give it the 2.5.
Yeah. Two
Yeah,
and a half.
yeah.
A
So light,
satisfying two and
a
a half.
spice light.
I love the playful ending with the cowboy boots and the shower and the
Yeah, like, once she gets into it, they go and they have a lot of sex. It's not, like, super
Yeah.
detailed, but it's a lot of it, which I love. Even that, like, we've woken up and not said good morning, but we're already having sex,
Mhm.
like, when they get to that, because
Yeah.
that is so accurate to those first when you're
It
first getting with
is.
someone and you're doing that in the first
Oh,
sleepover and then the
yeah.
morning of and, like, right into it again. Like, it totally brought me back
Yeah.
to those times and made me think of that early days of that, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was great. It's great. Once they were
And
together, they were
also
together.
and even the way that, like, even once they were, like, together and then they had all this time apart, but it made sense. It's like she's opening a restaurant, he's
Mhm.
running a farm that is in serious economical trouble, and so, like, financial trouble,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, yeah, no, they don't have, like, all day, every day to be together." I'm
Yeah.
glad that we're not like, it's a fantasy, but I'm also glad that we're not, like, pushing to it to a point where as the reader you know, we all have so many things going on in our lives. And sometimes if it's like too much of a fantasy that's set in a real world, you're kind of like, you just feel like, how am
Yes.
I failing? Like, how am I not able to work, you know, like 12 hours a day and get it on all night long? And, you know,
Yeah, right?
and it's
Why
like,
can I
no,
live up to
neither are
this?
they. Like
Yeah.
even in the fantasy version, you know. And also like where she's like, how many days till I fail? Because it's absurd. Like how quickly she's never run a restaurant before and they're gonna open it in like 3 months. Like, no.
Yeah.
But also, yes, because sometimes in life you get the opportunity and you just go for it. And yes, it
Yes.
is a shit show, you know, at the soft opening. Her soft opening, I was like, why do you have that many people there? I was like, this is
I
you
know,
should
like, do
not have your
a very soft opening first and then
yeah.
get to the soft opening. And that, like, yeah.
But then the official launch winds up going great. And then I loved the way that the epilogue was
Yes.
newspaper articles, like reviews about the soft. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was fun. It was a great way to wrap it up. I thought that was really sweet that they
Yeah.
had that. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and Annie wasn't pregnant. It was like that whole bit.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
Totally
what?
fooled me.
Me too. And I was also kind of sad, but I was also happy because I'm like, okay, like someone would call her out at this point. So I'm like, okay, good. She's not an idiot. She was just faking them out because
Yes.
at this point.
Yeah. Right? I know. But no, that was really I loved that because
Me too.
I did not see it coming as the reader. And I was like, oh, that's fun. That's like a
Yeah.
fun, light twist, but that also makes me go like, ooh, you know, and that's
Yeah.
just where like I say, like, this is a really nice, fun, light way to start off your romance
Yeah.
reading year. If that's
sure.
if that's what you're after right now, like this is a full recommend. I thought this was a really delightful
It is.
read. I loved the town and the other characters of the town. And I mean, and you're like you're in the South, which is, you know, but it felt like Sweet Home Alabama style.
Yeah, and I mean, and they go to New York and they have different things. Honestly, the whole series, like, it's a great one to jump into. They all fall into this like sweet hometown romance that you fall for these characters. You fall in love with all of them. The town.
Mhm.
It's a full blast without going too far down the Hallmark road. It keeps
Yeah.
it grounded still, and it's just really enjoyable.
And the whole reason that they're all like sort of there and together and all that stuff, like that, I don't know, the things that like pull them back there, it just felt authentic. It felt like real. It didn't feel pushed or overly sweet to where your teeth are kind of on edge. Cringy.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so this was really fun. This was like a great way to start. Great way to start the year. And an interesting balance with the fact that we're like coming at you guys with some heated rivalry stuff in the new year again.
Yeah.
And
Part 2
coming
of
at you
Heated
with
Rivalry, longest shot.
some ACOTAR stuff as well. Kind of like if you haven't started in on any of this.
Right? And who knows? Kate and I add stuff so last minute all the time. We'll see
We do.
what else. By the time you listen to this, there'll be something else, I'm sure. But start with this. It's a great one. Just came out. It's a good one to jump into and enjoy. Early sweet read.
Absolutely. Start yourself off this. You can in this way you get to check off that you read a book in 2026.
Yeah, it's a great appetizer. It's your appetizer to 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, happy New
Okay.
Year, and we will
Happy
be
New Year.
back talking to you again soon.
Bye.
Settle in and grab a book, a comfy chair, your favorite nook with Kate and Court. Yeah, it's the Cozy Corner.
Thanks for tuning in to Kate and Court's Cozy Corner Romance Readers.
Executive producers and hosts, Caitlin Stryker and Courtney Richter. Producer, Kanesha No. Original music, Cassie DeSilva.